Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome to the opening round here in Australia, in Melbourne, Albert Park for Season 2 of the Intelligence Racing League, and we are here with the lads of Division 3 and we are excited to see some action out on track. We got 17 guys in the lobby, so we'll run you through the guys in the lobby. So we got Kylet in the Renault, we have Sindro in the McLaren, Vapor Josh, who is out on track right now in the Scuderia Ferrari, Leon in the Williams, Jordan JT in the Haas, the AlphaTauri, I believe that's AlphaTauri, it might be the Red Bull, I'm not too sure, but we have Swim there in one of the Red Bull family car. But we also got Original Sevi and Formula Matt in the Racing Points, Otapa in the other Haas, and we have Philip N in the Red Bull, so it was the AlphaTauri for Swim. So we got Philip N in the Red Bull, one Javier in the Renault, Danny Boy who's about to get himself started for a lap in the Red Bull, Jav in the Mercedes, United Bosnia in the McLaren, Crown Plays in the other Williams car. Going to be looking for a good result here. Oh, Maverick in the other Mercedes, and we have Niles in the Alfa Romeo. So I see, who have we got on track who's furthest along? Believe it is going to be Sevi. He does have a bit of traffic there with Sindro, but 27.7, not a bad first sector on the mediums. He will be looking to gain a bit of time here and there as he breaks down quite hard there into 9 and 10, as we got this very tricky left right of 11 and 12 coming up. So see how he takes that, clips both curbs, lovely stuff, and keeps it out of the wall, which is always important. So we're seeing a lot of guys out there on the soft tyres. Strategy around here is going to be a soft to hard, or the medium to hard, as Crown Plays goes on provisional pole with a 20.7, not a bad lap bit, but it's immediately beaten by Danny Boy on a 20.4. And to the line comes Original Sevi with a 22 flat on the mediums. Vapor Josh there with a 20.8. And United Bosnia matching Original Sevi there with the 22 flat. So Tapa gets up ahead of both the medium compound runners there with a 21.2. Who else we got coming towards the line, if we got anyone? Well, we got a few invalidations. In fact, that is going to be key as well on this track. Invalidations is very easy to get an invalidation here. If you drift just a little bit too wide there out of 5, or even out of here in 6, that is going to be, that is going to be an invalidation. You could see a lot of warnings coming from these corners. We're waiting to see who have we got close to the line, but we do have a purple first sector there from Formula Matt into the 26s. It's still coming up with Danny Boy's time at the bottom there, but we're going to stick on board with Formula Matt and see what he's like in this middle sector. Is it going to be another purple? No, it's not. So someone is slightly quicker in the middle sector, but he drifts too far wide on the exit at 12, and that is his lap invalidated. Meanwhile, we have the AlphaTauri of Swim now coming down into a very tricky corner. It's actually a little bit difficult to get the car slowed down and turned in for that corner. A little bit of traffic to negotiate in the final sector for Swim as he comes around the final corner, and the steering a bit wide, but he's able to keep it on track, and to the line he'll come. It's going to be a 21.3, which gets him up into 6th place. Meanwhile, Sindro, who is out on track with a 26.8 in the first sector, not a bad little lap, although he is going to be aiming to try and get that down to a 26.5 if he wants to compete with the likes of Danny Boy, who is right now on provisional pole. We got a 48.8 in the middle sector and a very cautious turn 11 and 12 there from the man in the McLaren. That is going to lose him a bit of time, but at this point you just want a lap on the board. As Sindro now comes to the end of his lap, is going to be able to jump ahead of Original Sevi and United Bosnia, who set their times on mediums. Yes, he does. Gets himself up into 7th there. Utapa, he does have the mediums on in the pits, and we do have Kailat right now, who is slightly up on his first sector time. So we're going to stick on board with the man in the Renault to see if he can gain any more time out here. As he approaches turns 11 and 12, he is up by a 10th, and a bit out of shape there as he goes into 11 and 12. That would have lost him just a little bit of potential time there. Just going a bit too deep into 11, compromising his run out of 12, and that is going to lose him just a little bit of time. But as he approaches the end of his lap, he is going to abort it and come straight into the pits. Meanwhile, Philip N with a 21.5 jumps himself up ahead of Sindro. And Jordan JT just about gets himself ahead of Original Sevi and United Bosnia, who did set those laps on the medium. So let's remember that as they come around on their soft tyres. I'm expecting pole position to be in the high 19s here, so let's hope that we can get that. As we got Vapor Josh now coming to the first sector split. He is up by 3/10 of a second, almost 4/10 there with a 26.4. A fantastic first sector there for the man in the Scuderia as he breaks down trying to look for the best exit. Not as early on the front. Oh, as he just gets a little bit of wheel spin there, and I believe that might be a bit of wing damage. He did hit the wall, and yeah, he has lost a bit of his end plate there, so that is not going to be a good job there from Vapor Josh, but he knows he's got 4/10 in sector 1 as Crown Plays is 2/10 up in sector 1, and it wasn't a 26.4 like Vapor Josh's was, but hopefully he can keep it on track and keep improving on his lap time. As we see now with the second sector split, he is up by 2/10 of a second still. Oh, as he gets a little bit of a tail snapper there, as we got a racing point facing the wrong way, and I believe that is Original Sevi there. As Crown Place just goes a little bit too wide. And it's not Original Sevi, it was actually Formula Matt. So Formula Matt facing the wrong way on the straight. Have we got anyone on a valid lap? Well, Formula Matt's about to gear himself up for a lap. And we got Niles right now, who is in the second sector. But we've also got Danny Boy, the man who is on provisional pole right now. Is he going to be able to improve on his 20.4? He is 2/10 up, so this could be a very good lap from the Red Bull, as long as he can keep it all together. But he drifts too far wide, and he just exceeds the limits of the track there. But Niles behind him is still going strong. He gets the car turned down and turned into that corner. Tries not to drift too far wide. That's another area where you can easily invalidate your lap. And now DRS wide open, to the line comes Niles in that Alfa Romeo. What's it going to be? It's a 20.6, and it actually gets him up into P2. So a good opening lap there from Niles. We got Kylat, who is just under 2/10 up. He is sitting in 5th place right now. Not too far off these guys at the top. A couple of tenths could make all the difference here, if he's able to pull it all together. He is purple in Sector 2 and up by 4/10, so this could be on par to challenge Danny Boy's time. He comes now into the final sector. This part of the track is all about just carrying the speed. As he comes around the final corner, DRS wide open. He did get a little bit hooked by the curb. Let's see what time this is going to be. It's going to be a 20.2, and that's going to put him on provisional pole position. And that is a good lap there from Kylat. As Vapor Josh taking quite a lot of curb, and that is not what you want to start off the lap. A big snap there as he takes a lot of curb, as we got Formula Matt obviously right there losing it on the curb out of turns 4. We got Alt Marfek, who is on an out lap, but we have one Javier who is on a flying lap, and there's a purple middle sector from the man in the Renault. Are we going to see both Renault cars up there in the top 10? Time will tell as we come into the final few corners. And now around the final corner, a little bit hesitant on the throttle, so that's going to cost him just a little bit of time, but to the line he'll come, and it's going to be a 22.3. Meanwhile, we got United Bosnia, who's 9/10 of a second up. It's not going to be enough to challenge pole position, but it will be enough to potentially chuck him up there with Vapor Josh if he can keep it all together in the final sector and around the final corner. DRS wide open, to the line he will come, and it is going to be a 20.4, so he's found a good amount of time in that final sector. He chucks him just behind Danny Boy there. So good lap there from United Bosnia. And now with 4 minutes to go, we have a bit of a calm before the storm. But we're going to stick on board with Swim, the man who is currently in 9th place. He wants to get into that 20s. But we've yet to see anyone break into the 119s yet. I do believe Kylat, Danny Boy, United Bosnia and Vapor Josh definitely have it in them to get into the 19s. It's whether or not they can hook the lap together. A nice exit there from the AlphaTauri. We come to the second sector split. He's up by 2/10. This has been a nice lap so far, but he's drifted too far wide as Vapor Josh actually puts it on pole position with a 22.2. Absolutely nothing separating the top two right there. And we'll stay on board with Swem, who does get into the 20s at a 20.8, but this man in the Scuderia Ferrari gaining 6/10 on that lap, chucking himself right up there on provisional pole. And that means that we are going to have a big old duel between these guys for pole position, and I love it. Are we going to see the 19s from any of these guys? Are we going to see it? We got 3 guys right now. Crown Plays actually put on provisional pole. I just missed that. Crown Plays with a 20.2. So we got 3 drivers. And try for one more time. Meanwhile, we do have Danny Boy, who is going to come to the line. Here we go. What's this going to be? It's going to be a 20.3. And it doesn't look like Danny Boy is going to go for another lap. So, all eyes on these guys. Now, Vapor Josh is actually done for the session. So that's him out of the running. Meanwhile, we got Danny Boy, who has backed out. He's got no more fuel left. We have Kylat, who is on his flying lap right now, so we'll stay on board with the man in the Renault. Looks to get a good lap. We have Swim retiring from the session, Maverick retiring from the session, all the guys in the pits right now. Nothing more that they can do. And Kylat, he is up by 200ths of a second, but is he going to gain enough in the final sector to get on the front row? He does have Danny Boy just ahead, a little bit awkwardly placed, and that is an invalidation there for Kylat. So all eyes on Crown Plays and United Bosnia now, and even Niles actually, who is behind United Bosnia on track. So United Bosnia 2.5 tenths down on his first sector, and that's an invalidation there for United Bosnia. Crown Plays now to the line, he'll come. And it's not good enough to best his best time, but he is currently on provisional pole. United Bosnia is not going to be able to do anything, and oh my god, what have we just seen there? Philip N and Niles coming together, absolutely colliding with each other in qualifying. Meanwhile, we have Original Sefi, who is still on a lap. What is Sevi going to do? Is he going to get himself a little bit further up the grid? No, he doesn't. What about Jordan? Jordan's got absolutely nothing left. Javier's invalidating, and that's our grid. That's our grid. So Crown Plays puts it on pole position, just under 200ths of a second ahead of Vapor Josh, who is 700ths of a second ahead of Kylat in the Renault, who is only 200ths of a second ahead of Danny Boy. And then we have a 10.5 back to United Bosnia, then 2.5 tenths to Otapa. Then we have Swim in 7th place, and both of the racing points there are Formula Matt and Original Sevi right there on the 21s, and it looks like Formula Matt is actually still going for a lap, so hang on a second. He was fastest in the middle sector, so maybe there's a bit of a glitch with the timing for me anyway. Bit of a lock up there into the penultimate corner, and around the final corner will come Formula Matt, but he has invalidated his lap, but it was a 20.7, which would have improved his position quite a bit. So run you through the qualifying positions once again. We have Crown Plays on pole with a 20.2, 200ths of a second ahead of Vapor Josh in second place. That's our front row. Then we have Kylat and the Welsh lad of Danny Boy locking out the second row. United Bosnia and Otapa are on the third row. Then we have Swim in 7th, and Matt our first of the 21s in 8th. Original Sevi and Philip round out the top 10. Then we have Alt Maverick, Syndro, Jordan JT, Leon, One Javier, Yav, and Niles, who was disqualified from the session. And we do have a 5-place grid penalty for... We just look, and that is for Philip N. So these two will be starting towards the back, and that is going to be, I mean, there's going to be some words in Discord a bit later. But we have a very close grid from the looks of it. But let's see how their race pace matches up against each other. Is looking a little bit overcast. We may see some changeable conditions. As we wait to see what everyone outside the top 10 will do. As I said at the start of qualifying, strategy is a one-stop. You can do the soft to the hards, pitting around lap 7 to lap 10 is the ideal pit stop for the hards. You can potentially try and go for the soft to medium strategy, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's just not worth it. You would have to stretch those soft tires out to at least lap 11, 12, and at that point those softs are going to be dropping off dramatically. It's just not worth it in my opinion. So outside the top 10 we have Syndro, Jordan JT, Jav and Niles on a set of the mediums, everyone else on the soft compound tire. So this will be interesting to see how they do. Obviously they're going to be going for the medium to hard strategy. There is a possibility that an early safety car could come out and put some of these guys on a 2-stop strategy. As the track looks a little bit glazed right now. Are we going to see any potential change in conditions here? It is looking very overcast overhead, so we may see a few droplets of rain come down. As we have Javier in the chat saying it is supposed to be dry. Swim saying that he had a lot more time out there on the table. It is a shame, but I mean, you're starting from P7. I mean, it is going to be... This race is all about survival, guys. You know, the first race of the season, no heroics. You just want to be able to get to the end and just do what you gotta do. As we wait for everyone to line up on the grid. So Philip M with that 5-place grid drop starts in 15th. Niles, who got disqualified, down there in 17th. And with these guys now on the grid positions, we await those 5 beautiful red lights to get us underway for round 1 here in Division 3 of the Intelligence Racing League. Round 1, lights are out and we are underway, and this is a horrible camera angle to view things, but it looks like Kyler has got a fantastic start relative to Vapor Josh, who's a little bit sideways and drops 2 positions. And oh, there's Vapor Josh into the wall, and that is a safety car. Lap 1, Vapor Josh there absolutely sideways coming out of turn 2 there. I think maybe a little bit of contact with him and Danny Boy. But yeah, we have a safety car on lap 1. I know it says lap 2 up in the top left, but have no fear, this is the opening lap of this race. And now we have the leaderboard glitch. Now the real question is, do these guys on the soft tires come in and potentially do a medium to the end? It could be worth. It really could be worth. Right there, it looked like Kylet got a fantastic launch off the line. Was challenging Crown Plays into turn 1, and Danny Boy being optimistic there, going around the outside of Vapor Josh, and I think a little bit of contact between him and Vapor Josh. Let's have a look and see if there's any wing damage. Yes, there is. There is a bit of wing damage here on the Red Bull. And now we're going to see, is anyone going to dive into the pits? Yes, Danny Boy into the pits. Kylet did think about it. He did have a bit of a... He had a thought about it. So, anyone else into the pits? And what's Danny Boy going to do? He has opted for the hard compound tyres. And of course we got Vapor Josh also into the pits as well. It's going to be for a front wing change and possibly... Yes, he is going to go for the medium compound tyre. So he's going to be looking to try and make up some positions. The problem is now, with these soft tyres being given a few laps really of free driving under the safety car, where they're not going to pick up much tyre wear at all. This does make a soft to medium strategy a bit more optional. I would still maintain the soft to hard is definitely your safer bet, but it does make that soft switch to the mediums a bit more likely. Let's have a look at the position changes and see who has managed to gain the most positions. So we got Original Sevi up 4 positions, and he is our big gainer here on these opening laps. And of course Vapor Josh and Danny Boy with the wing damage are our big losers, as they are now towards the back of that grid. And the racing points trading positions back and forth. And Formula Matt actually into the pits, so Formula Matt thinking about making a different kind of call here, as is Syndro. So let's see what these guys are planning. They've both gone onto a set of the mediums. In fact, Syndro onto the set of the hards. Now this is interesting now, because what we got now, we got Danny Boy, Vapor Josh, Formula Matt and Syndro, who are towards the back. We know Danny Boy and Vapor Josh definitely have the pace to be towards the front. Vapor Josh is going to be having the bit between his teeth on this restart to try and make up as much position as possible. Niles is going to be looking to try and get through, as is Philip N as well. So they're going to be trying to get themselves up the order. We're going to stick behind the safety car. Is it going to be coming in this lap? Yes, it is. Safety car in this lap, so Crown Play is going to be able to back up the rest of the grid. Very important for these guys not to lose temperature in their tyres. They need to start getting their tyres warmed up a bit. As you see, Sevi, a little bit of weaving there, trying to keep a little bit of temperature. As there you go, Swem is also trying to keep that temperature in. It looks like Formula Matt and Vapor Josh trying to get as close to each other as possible. Now we're waiting for Crown Plays to get us underway. And he's going to do it out in the final corner, but Kylet right under his gearbox. And here we go, we are back underway. We are racing once again here as Kylet right into the slipstream here of Crown Place. He's going to have a look down the inside, but not going to make it work. Meanwhile, behind, we have Original Sevi having a look on Otapa, but no moves being made. Swim as he's all over the back of Original Sevi. Niles is out of the race as that's a yellow flag in sector 1. Looks like he's lost it on the exit of turn 2. And that is Vapor Josh getting past Danny Boy there, side by side actually, and Danny Boy, a little bit of contact, and he is into the wall. More front wing damage here for Danny Boy, and he reset the track, and I think that is not allowed, but we have caught that on stream, so stewards will do what they do best, and that is steward what goes on, as we got Jav also dropping down the order as well. So Jav maybe having a bit of a spin there, as we got Alt Maverick trying to look around the outside of the Alpha Tauri, but goes onto the grass, unable to get the job done. Meanwhile, Sevi, he is pushing Otapa through these final few corners. And as soon as we get DRS enabled, I'm expecting to see some moves being made. I'm also expecting to see two guys into the pits, as we got Philip N getting past Leon there. And Vapor Josh, he is up into 12th place now. Is he going to be able to make the move on Leon though? It's usually pretty single file through here in the first sector, but you can see the amount of grip he has compared to Leon. And he is going to want to get past at the first opportunity. Looks like a better exit here, and he's got it. And he's going to have a look around the outside. Oh, this is very close stuff between the Ferrari and the Williams, but Josh able to get the move done there around the outside. As we got a VSC, and it looks like contact between Formula Matt and Sindro. And that is Formula Matt around. And facing the wrong way, as he's just driven straight into the wall. And that is not what you want to do, especially when you're on stream, because that can affect the race. As Formula Matt has just retired on track, he is not happy. As United Bosnia ducks out into the pits. Now this could be a very cheeky little strategy from United Bosnia. If he chucks on the hards, he could potentially get all the way to the end. As Leon is also into the pits as well, so we are waiting to go back green once again. But yeah, United Bosnia again, a pretty much a free pit stop there, as we are racing once again. The order is still Crown Plays who leads ahead of Kylet. Otapa now into 3rd place with Original Sevi chasing him down. Alt Maverick trying to chase down Swim for 5th, and then we got the first of the medium runners, Jordan JT, in 7th place, and then we got Javier, the one, the only one Javier, in 8th, ahead of Philip N, who is looking to make up for that 5th place grid drop collision with Niles at the start of this, at the qualifying, at the end of the qualifying session. But he's going to be looking to, I just saw position changes there between Crown Plays and Kylet, so this is getting a bit tasty up the front. We're going to go back up towards this right now as Crown Place is into the pits, responding to the fact United Bosnia dipped into the pits just the lap previous. But let's see how far behind United Bosnia he is going to be. Javier picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Let's go, let's have a look. United Bosnia down the straight, and it actually looks like Crown Place has actually made that work. So I'm not sure what happened to United Bosnia, but he was about this gap behind Crown Place before he made the pit stop, and under VSC he should have got a massive advantage. So I'm not sure what has happened there for United Bosnia. Definitely a mistake of some sort, as Vapor Josh trying to make his way back up through the field. Next up is going to be Philip N. And we got original Sevi still sticking right behind the Haas of Otapa for second place. Now this is on track. It's great, we got a four-way scrap for second place. And it looks like Crown Place starting to gap United Bosnia just a bit here. So it'll be interesting to see where Kylet comes out relative to Crown Place. And maybe Kylet is opting for the soft medium strategy. You know, we've had a safety car, we've had a VSC. As we got a yellow flag in the final sector, as we got Vapor Josh getting past Philip N there for 7th place, and next up for him is going to be Jordan JT. As the Ferrari tucked into the substream, overtake mode engaged on the ERS, and now he's going to have a look down the inside. He's going to make it work though. Jordan going to try and fight it around the outside, but unable to do it. And that is Vapor Josh now up into 6th. Meanwhile with DRS, this is going to make this four-way scrap very tasty, as original Sevi now looks to the outside of Otapa and gets that move done. Sweeps around the outside. And Kylet not really gapping these guys as much as he needs to. They are just hanging just outside of that DRS window. And it is still looking very overcast. In fact, now Sevi has just got himself into the DRS window, and now we have the call that it is the open strategy right now for the hard compound tyres. And this is going to be interesting, because now what does Kylet do? Does he pit for the hards and tries to close down Crown Place and potentially United Bosnia as well? Because Crown Place already built up a 3.1 second gap, and that is Vapor Josh out of the session. Oh, he's lost it on the exit of turn 4. Vapor Josh into the wall, and that is another VSC. That's massive. That's massive. Vapor Josh out of the session. But we're looking at that gap between Crown Place and Kylet. It is 23 seconds as it stands right now, but we are under VSC, so take that with a pinch of salt as we wait to see what the gap is going to be, as United Bosnia gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC. And you just can't do that on this game. You just can't hack the VSC anymore when it's ending. You actually have to stick to the delta, as Kylet and Swem into the pits. They both get slowed down. Now Crown Place, where is he to? He is going to be able to jump. Kylet 100%. And United Bosnia is going to have to serve a drive-through penalty. Yep, and there comes Kylet out of the pits. The gap not massive, so there is potential there for Kylet to try and close in on those fresher, hard tyres. But the question is, what is the strategy for these guys up ahead? Is Sevi, Otapa and Alt Maverick thinking mediums by any chance? Like I said, the safe option is the hard compound tyre. But we're going to see if these guys are going to stick to the safe option or are they going to risk it for the biscuit. Right now, Sindro, who has made his only pit stop, he could potentially take those hearts to the end. So 7.5 seconds ahead of Crown Place. If he can nurse those tyres enough, keep the pace up, he may have an opportunity here as Otapa is into the pits. And Sevi, Maverick continuing on. Jordan JT obviously on those mediums. He is going to go a little bit deeper into this race. Usually the mediums will last you around 13 laps. But we gotta look at the gap between Kylet and Crown Place. It is 2.4 seconds. Kylet picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, and that's going to bring Otapa into the fight, as well as Shrim actually. I forgot how close these guys were to Kylet before they made their pit stop. And this has just made the battle for second that extra bit spicier. As original Sevi picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, and that could be costly. As Otapa, we was just on board with him there as he picks that 3-second time penalty up. So everyone's starting to pick up a few time penalties. As Swim will be able to close up on Otapa now with DRS wide open. He's not going to be close enough to make a move. Meanwhile, Maverick and Sevi into the pits. Maverick gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that is going to cost him. And Maverick going for a set of mediums. So Maverick going to risk it for the biscuit. I don't know. I think that's a mistake from Maverick. He is going to be quicker than these guys ahead, but he is going to be so much slower at the end of the race. But we'll check his progress. He is right there behind Swim. So this is the battle for 7th place. And right now, who is going to be... Once Jordan makes his pit stop, we don't know whether Sindro is going to be able to go to the end. He may be able to. Time will tell, but who is going to be on that podium, guys? We're going to go on board with Maverick because he's the man who needs to make these moves. He's the man that needs to get himself into the best position possible so he can hold off these hard compound tyres at the end of the race. As I did notice there that Crown Place picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. So once Jordan makes his pit stop, as Kyler picks himself up another 3-second time penalty. And that, I think, does drop him behind Maverick. And look at this that we got right now. From 4th down to 8th, we have a DRS train going on. We have penalties that every single person has got. Crown Place has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. I did spot that. As Jav picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. But look at this battle we're going to have for the podium right here. Looks like Sevi just showing a little bit of pace right now. Starting to gap Otapa just a little bit. That's going to put Otapa under pressure from Swim. And Maverick, who really needs to start making some moves ASAP. As we got Sevi now. As Swim picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. I believe Sevi would have picked up a warning there for that. DRS wide open. He's not going to make a move, but look how close he is to that Renault now. But Otapa now back in that DRS window again. So it seems to me that Sevi is so much faster in the first sector, but seems to be losing a bit in the final. But here we go now. Is Sevi going to have a look? No, he's going to think about turn 3. Look for the best exit possible out of this corner. Gets a little bit wayward there under traction, but it's all good because DRS wide open. He is going to be able to make that move, and he's going to try around the outside as, oh my god, we have a bit of ghosting going on right there. Kylet with a bit of lag. I did see a bit of front wing I saw a bit of front wing fly off, but it looks like everything is a-okay. Unless that was from Crown Plays up ahead. But I would have doubted it. No, his front wing is fine. But now, original Sevi can try and get away from that Renault of Kylet, but here's the thing, the more these guys battle, the easier time Crown Plays is going to have up front. Because all he's got to worry about is Syndro. And now Syndro is all over the back of Jordan JT, who I think will be peeling off into the pits this lap. Yes, he will. Into the pits goes the Haas, though he did give a double dose of DRS there to Syndro. But Jordan JT going for another set of... Oh no, it's saying is a bit of a glitch. He is on the hard compound tyre and he should come out in P9. Danny Boy, 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. Come on, Danny. But look at this, what we have right now, guys. We have Syndro, whose tyres are going to be absolutely cooked at the end of this race. We got Crown Plays, who is catching. Oh, Maverick gets a drive-through penalty for speeding in the VSC. So, oh, Maverick is out of the equation now. He is absolutely gone. But what I was going to say, we got Crown Plays trying to close in on Syndro, but does have a penalty. I haven't seen Syndro pick one up yet. So Crown Plays needs to not only get the move done, so Tapper's around at turn 12 and he resets the track. Guys, you need to stop resetting the track, like, you know. It's against the rules. As we got Philip N all over the back of Otapa. Otapa is definitely going to have to pit, and Syndro is into the pits, so he recognises he's not going to go to the end, so he's going to chuck on a set of the mediums and try to get fastest lap. So with Otapa, with that mistake, and Alt Maverick with that drive through, it has now become a 4-horse race because original Sevi is closing in on Crown Plays. The gap is 2 seconds. And he is dragging Kyler along with him, who picks himself up another 3-second time penalty. And now we have Swim, who is in 4th place. And if he has less penalties than Kyler and can keep within a certain distance of him, he is going to be able to pick up that podium spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a race going on right now. Original Sevi is on fire. He is almost out of DRS of Kylet, and he is only 8/10 away from DRS on Crown Plays. Meanwhile, Otapa, he is under pressure from Philip N. But now what we got behind, you got Syndro, who it says he's on a 13 lap old hards. That is not true at all. But Philip N, he should be able to make a move into turn 3 as long as he gets a good exit here. He didn't get a good exit. So that might just save Otapa there for this lap. But Original Sevi on 5 lap old hards, Crown Plays on 10. Original Sevi's tyres are going to be so much fresher than Crown Plays, and he is dragging along Kylat, but Kylat does have a few penalties that is going to drop him down. But Kylat is doing well to stick with Original Sevi because he needs to pull a gap to swim to make sure he doesn't drop off the podium. So guys, in the chat right now, let me know who are you backing. Will Crown Plays keep a hold of this first place? Will Sevi be able to catch and pass? Will Kylat keep a hold of the podium? Will Swim get himself up there? And where do we think these 3 guys are going to be able to claw themselves back up to? As United Bosnia in 10th place just picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. That could be costly. He is in 10th, but Danny Boy is on a fresh set of mediums and could be closing up. As we got Jav in the chat saying himself, Jav, I'm rooting for you, mate. What's the gap between you and the leader? 1 minute. 1 minute, mate. You can make that up in 1 sector. I know you can. Come on, Jav. But right now, what we've got, we have a 10 lap sprint to the finish. 2 seconds separating Crown Plays, who is out of VRS now. So this is Original Sevi's chance to close in here. And Kylat has used a lot of VRS to try and keep with Original Sevi. And Swim, he is on the best amount of VRS out of everyone. So if Swim can start using his ERS a bit more, he should be able to close up the Kylat and maybe even pull out. Oh, it's Crown Plays picks himself up another 3-second time penalty. Okay, now this has just changed things, guys. This has just changed things. Crown Plays with another 3-second time penalty. Now I have no idea who's going to be able to win this race. It is all up in the air now, guys. As Otapa and Philip N look like they've made a bit of contact there. As Philip N got his front wing intact. He does, but now they are going to be under pressure from the likes of Jordan JT and Sindro. So the battle for 5th is starting to heat up. The battle for 1st is cooking. That gap is 1.1 seconds, 1.2. And now Sevi is smelling a victory here. But he needs to keep himself composed. He needs to keep himself together. As Jav has retired from the session. So Jav being our 5th retiree. So far this race we have lost Niles and Formula Matt and Vapor, Josh, Leon and now Jav. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a safety car. Into the pits comes Philip N, Otapa, Sindro, Jordan JT and Alt Maverick. No, Alt Maverick's going to stick it out. Is United Bosnia going to come into the pits? Surely they have to. They have to. Fortunately for Crown Plays, Sevi and Kylat, they were able to get themselves around turn 1 before the safety car was deployed. And now it has just kicked off. I don't want to look at penalties, guys. I want to be surprised. But now, absolutely everyone is in a chance are taking the win this. This breathes some new life into Danny Boy's chances and United Bosnia's. If they can get themselves through the traffic, they are looking in good stead. Philip N on those soft tyres is going to be flying, as well as Sindro and Jordan JT. These guys up the front, they need to pit. Yes, they're all in. They're all in, and Maverick is going to come up behind them. So we got softs for original Sevi, softs for Crown Plays, and Sevi's jumped him. Sevi's jumped him in the pits. Sevi has jumped Crown Plays in the pit lane, and Swim has jumped Kylat. Oh my god, guys, now this is absolutely on. This is on. Sevi has jumped Crown Plays and Swim has jumped Kylat in the pit lane. And now everyone's going to be bunched up together under the safety car, and this is going to be some finish to the opening round here at Season 2 for Intelligence Racing League. This is going to be some climax to this race. We had a safety car lap 1, we've had 2 VSCs, and now on lap 21 underneath the second safety car. Penalties will make a difference here. The risky overtakes will make a difference here. I couldn't tell you who is in a net race lead right now based on penalties. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. But these guys are all going to bunch up. And it is all going to spark off once again. The softs will go to the end. But are they going to be too slow? Time will tell. Otapa, he does have the soft runner of Philip N behind him, and Danny Boy, who is very quick here. He is going to be trying to catch up as much as possible. Also, Sindro and Jordan JT should be absolutely rapid compared to the guys ahead as well. So we're going to go around for one more lap under safety cars. We wait for Javier to catch up. Guys, put your predictions in the chat right now. Sevi, Crown Plays, Swim, Kylat, Maverick, Otapa, Philip N, Danny Boy, Sindro, Jordan JT. Who is gonna take the victory here today? Let me know your predictions. So on lap 22 of 29, safety cars should be coming in at the end of this lap. Everyone is already bunched up together. We're just waiting for confirmation. Safety car in this lap. Then we have a 7-lap sprint to the finish. Yep, there it is. Safety car in this lap. The lights go out. And now Sevi sets the pace. When is Sevi gonna go? Crown plays waiting. He's trying to get his nose put there just on the outside just to compromise Sevi. He's run out the final corner and it looks like it's worked, and we are racing once again as it looks like Crown plays is closing in enough as we got Kylet closing in on Swim as well, and Kylet around the outside, no, doesn't make it work, but he does get the switch back and he unable to get the move done, but this is allowed Alt Maverick to try now around the outside at turn 3, but doesn't have the grip to match these guys on the soft. And now Philip N, who has also managed to get ahead of no, he didn't get ahead of Syndrome. That's where Danny Boy was. So Sevi doing absolutely everything he can. Kyler picked himself up another 3-second time penalty. That is going to be absolutely monumental. Now with this grid being as close as it is, he is trying everything he can but goes way too deep, and that is going to open things up for Alt Maverick to close in and should allow Swim to get away from the Renault. Meanwhile, Philip N all over the back of Otapa for 6th place. Alt Maverick picking up a 3-second time penalty, and as I said, it has all kicked off here. Now Philip N, is he going to be able to make a move? He is closing in, but not enough to make a move. Maybe into turn 3, but a little bit of contact there between him and Otapa, and that has slowed Danny Boy down, and that is Syndro around the outside of Danny Boy for P8, and that is a fantastic move there from the McLaren as we are moving back up towards this battle between Otapa, Alt Maverick and Philip N. The Swim picks up a 3-second time penalty as we have a bit of a gap between Swim and Crown Place, so it is looking like a 2-horse race. However, penalties will come into effect. Well, looking at this battle, we have Syndro right behind Philip N. Sevi picks himself up the 3-second time penalty. How crucial is that going to be? Danny Boy and Philip N picking up penalties here, and Javier, everyone has lost their minds. They're picking up penalties left, right and centre as it looks like Syndro is going to stick behind. But look at this train we got from 5th place down to 11th. One penalty is going to make all the difference in this train as DRS has been enabled, and this will help Crown Plays. He needs to close up, he needs to get ahead of Sevi here. We're on lap 25 of 29. Philip N, he is having a bit of a peak down the inside, but not going to make it just yet. Thought better of it. As United Bosnia and Jordan JT side by side through turns 3 and 4 as they go side by side into 5, and Jordan JT holds on to 10th place for the time being. That is the final points paying position. Meanwhile, look at this, Syndro gets a monumental run out of 6, and that is him now up into 7th place ahead, but Philip N does get a slightly better run out of, I believe that is turn 9 as we go into 11 and 12, but Syndro is going to keep ahead. Does he have DRS on the cars ahead? Yes, he does. Meanwhile, Otapa not close enough to Alt Maverick to make a move. But now Syndro is trying to fight his way back up the order. And as it stands right now, as long as he has less penalties than Kylet, he is going to jump him. So Kylet could be dropping from 4th place down the order dramatically at the end of this race. Meanwhile, Crown Plays is very close to Sevi and tries to look down the inside. Sevi there with a very, very big old squeeze there as Alt Maverick has spun it. And that is Alt Maverick down into last place, and now we have yellow flag in sector 1 And now we will get racing once again, back to green flag conditions. This is the battle that we want to keep our eyes on, the battle for the race lead. I believe they are even on penalties. I believe they are. I hope they are, so we can get a fantastic battle here for the race lead as Crown plays DRS wide open. Doesn't close up enough to make a move. What about anyone else behind? Sindro, he is closing in on Otapa. Meanwhile, we have the Red Bulls battling. Danny Boy getting through on his teammate Philip N. And Danny Boy now up into 7th place. And this is why I mentioned about the soft tyres. They do start to drop off. And that will play into the hands of Otapa, of Danny Boy, of United Bosnia, who is now up into 9th place. So he's got the move done on Jordan JT. Meanwhile, look at this train as we go back up towards the front. Crown plays just sticking behind Sevi for the time being, as Otapa doing well to hold off these guys behind. And we got a Red Bull civil war going on right now, as Alt Maverick has gone into the pits to retire from the session, and that is a shame to see, because Alt Maverick was doing a great job there. Let's go back up towards the front, and Crown Blaze picks himself up another 3-second time penalty. Oh no, Crown Blaze. The move has to be made. He has to make this move, as Xavier picks himself up a time penalty as well. 11 drivers left. The win hangs within the balance. 5th place hangs within the balance. The podium, I'm not sure how many penalties Swem has got. I think he's only got 1, so he might be safe for the podium. But what can Crown Plays do? He's going to have a look down the inside, but he's not going to be able to get the job done. Let's look back towards this train, and it looks like Otapa is getting a good enough run out of turn 2 to keep a hold of position as they come into turn 3. But the real question is, for how much longer? And Crown Plays now. He has got to throw everything into this final lap. They're both running low on ERS, and that is not what Crown Plays wants to do. He's just lost a lot of time there to Sevi, and that could be the race over and done with right there. That one mistake could be all she wrote. And Philip M picked himself up a time penalty as well. Sindro not closing in enough to make a move on Otapa. Danny Boy sniffing around behind Sindro. And now United Bosnia is on the back of this train. Whoever's got the least amount of penalties out of these guys is going to take 5th place, potentially 4th if Kylet penalty situation is as bad as what it appears to be. But we are on the final lap as United Bosnia has made a move on Philip N into turn 1. Can Philip N battle back? No, he can't. So United Bosnia up into 8th. Is Philip N going to have a little look down the inside? No, he's not. He's going to stick behind. And now United Bosnia can try and have a little peek at these guys up ahead. Meanwhile, towards the front, as Jordan JT, I believe, has had it off somewhere, and so has Javier. And now they are battling for 10th place, but Javier has just, he's gone a bit too deep into turn 3, and that is him over and done with. And oh my god, Crown Plays here with an absolute save as he comes out of turn 12. Absolutely wayward, but I believe that is going to be that, and penalties are going to decide this one. And in fact, Swem could be within a chance here. If these two have got more than 1 penalty, more than Swem takes the win. as Flip End does get past United Bosnia, but we're going to cross the line with Original Sevi. Crown Place. Is Swim going to get him? Swim gets up in the second. Kylat, he is going to come in fourth, but will he drop any further positions? Oh, Tapper jumps to fourth. Sindro jumps to fourth. Danny Boy into sixth. United Bosnia comes home in eighth, and that means Kylat comes home in seventh place. And now Jordan JT will cross the line to pick up that final points paying position, and Javier will cross the line in 11th place. No points for 11th, but still he has made it to the end of this race, and the driver of the day according to the game is going to be Sindro, and I'll give you my driver of the day in 2 seconds. But that man on the top step right there, Original Sevi, he was flying. In that second stint, he was definitely the fastest man on track, and to me, there's no one more deserving of the victory here today. Ground Plays, he held on for as long as possible, but unable to keep that racing point behind, especially in the pit stop phases. So, Original Sevi, with not only the race win, but the fastest lap as well, showing his pace there. And looking at the drivers here, I will have to give driver of the day also to Sindro, up from 11th to 4th. Fantastic result there from Sindro, and that is going to round out the first round of season 2 here in Intelligence Racing League. Division 3 has been an absolute blast, and hopefully you guys will tune in to the other races that were going on, as we got Division 2, which is live right now. So make sure you guys jump on over to Division 2, and we'll catch you next week for round 2 at the Bahrain Grand Prix. But until next time, guys, I've been Ivan Mike, and we'll catch you in the next stream.